Here's a big story, and some may say it's a gift to the capital city. Columbia will soon be saying goodbye to a historic icon, the Capital City Stadium. After nearly 10 years of debate and discussion of the sale, it was sold for $1.6 million to a real estate investment firm in 2019.
I mean, this has been a long time coming, Darcy. There were so many rumors and ideas of what to do with that property, but this week the final permits were issued and the developer confirms the demolition of the stadium will start in April. And News 19's Becky Buds is at the stadium now and has more on what the new development will look like. What did you learn, Becky?
This 90-year-old stadium behind me hasn't hosted a baseball game since 2014. Now it's being turned into an apartment complex and retail space. City council members tell me this new development will bring much needed growth to the area.
Birthday parties at the Columbia Mets games to bombers to, the Blowfish Wood Bat League in the summers.
Columbia City Council member Will Brennan has fond memories of the Capital City Stadium, but he says it's time to go out with the old and in with the new.
It's tough to swallow, but we're looking forward to what it can become.
What it's becoming is a mixed-use complex coined the Ballpark. It'll consist of 310 apartments and 20,000 square feet of retail space. City Council member Joe Taylor also grew up in Columbia and calls the abandoned baseball stadium an eyesore.
This will clean that area up. I think it will increase the value of homes in that area. And I think it's going to be a very positive thing. It's just a shame it took 10 years to get it permitted to get it done.
The deal with the city states the developer is required to contribute $250,000 for a greenway extension from Olympia Park to the new development. Brennan says he's most excited about this feature.
Just in general, connecting citizens to our greenway, which will run through here all the way down to the Congaree River and eventually all the way, to the zoo and further out.
The developer is also investing $8 million in infrastructure improvements that will fix flooding issues and other structural damage. Brennan says though the stadium may be gone soon, it will never be forgotten.
The hope that its legacy can go forward with some sort of mention and memory in the new development is important.
Construction of this new development is expected to start in 2023 and will be complete the summer of 2024 if everything goes according to plan. Reporting live outside of the Capital City Stadium, Becky Buds, News 19 WLTX.
Becky, thank you so much. We're on your side tonight with a reminder that the deadline to enroll or change health insurance plans ends January 15th, which is on Saturday. Every year, health plan options change in cost and coverage and participating providers, so it's important to see what is available for you. Any changes made would affect your coverage starting February 1st. Keep in mind, outside the open enrollment period, people are generally not allowed to change health insurance plans unless a life-changing event occurs like getting married, having a baby, or losing your coverage. This Monday, the City of Columbia is teaming up with the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Foundation and other local leaders to host its annual Honor the Dream drive-through food drive. All of the food collected will go to Harvest Hope Food Bank to help those who are in need. The event will take place at the Martin Luther King Jr. Park on Green Street in Columbia, starting Monday morning at 9, running all the way through 3 that afternoon. All COVID-19 safety precautions will be in place to make sure that everyone stays safe.
All right, an update now for drivers in the town of Lexington. The town has confirmed the work on South Lake Drive and Railroad Avenue was finished and that road reopened. Now, this is a closure we told you about this morning on News 19 this morning, but work is still underway at the other area. For other railroad crossings, traffic is having to be detoured. The intersections affected include Swartz Road at Railroad Avenue, along with Zenkner and Wildlife Roads near Industrial Drive. The work is expected to continue through tomorrow, so keep that in mind.
Dawn is out with a new soap bottle designed to make washing dishes quicker and easier, especially as the bottle is running out of soap. It's called Easy Squeeze. The redesigned bottle is inverted and has a patented no-flip cap technology. A self-sealing valve protects against leaks. Dawn's parent company Procter & Gamble says it spent more than 5 years developing the bottle, making it one of the most researched products in the company's history.
Asked our producer Sandy if we could talk about this because I am so excited this is going to change my life.
I know it is. You like hand washing
I
dishes.
like hand washing.
Yeah.
I prefer hand washing my dishes because otherwise it takes a week to get them back. When you put them in the dishwasher, you got to wait for it to pop, or like, 2-3 days. And so I just like to get in there. But here's the thing. I buy a big old bottle of soap because I wash a ton of dishes. I have tiny hands. You got to lift up the big bottle and tip it over and do all that. And put it back down. And you have to do that with every dish. So this is brilliant.
Wait, you're putting soap on every dish, Annie? You're not just filling the sink up with hot water with the soap in it?
No, and I know you do that at your house, and I have seen you do it at your house, but to me that's like gag. I can't. No, that sink is dirty. Sometimes there's chicken juice in there. Sometimes there's other grossness. So nothing is getting clean by sitting in my sink.
So when you wash my dishes, is that why I didn't have any dishwashing liquid when you left? Is because you were putting it on every
I did.
That's why.
I did. I used that whole thing. I'm sorry, I used too much. You're right.
It's all right. Thank you for washing my dishes, Annie.
You're welcome. The viewers didn't know that. I did.
Don't let her wash your dishes.
All right, a big event coming up this weekend. You got to hear about it. Nothing lifts the spirits like beautiful music, and we are so blessed here in South Carolina to have the South Carolina Philharmonic, and this Saturday is an event for everyone. It is the Beethoven and Blue Jeans, two things that you wouldn't think normally go together, but under the conductor of Morihiko Nakahara and your inspiration and really your creativity. This is all coming together this Saturday. I'm so happy to talk with you today, Morihiko. And talk about why it's so important during the pandemic to keep the music going for everybody.
Hi, Andrea. Thanks for having me and to share a little bit about this concert coming up. And, so this pandemic taught us a lot of things. I think, for musicians, that's what we do is what we make music, obviously. And, a lot of us have spent years training to, master an instrument, what have you, come together. But it's all meaningless without somebody to share it with, right? And the pandemic, especially early on during the shutdown, really sort of got us at the core of that mission and our passion. We couldn't share it. We could still make music, but we couldn't share it. So that made us realize how important the other side of the equation is of music making, which is the audience. Beethoven Blue Jeans is an annual event that's also fun because the orchestra gets to dress down for this one. So we encourage everybody in the audience, and we always encourage our audience members to, show up as they are, wear what's comfortable. Some people like to dress up to go to performances, but some people like to go, in comfortable, casual clothing, and that's totally fine. But fine by us. We don't really have a dress code. It's like, well, no shirt, no service, really. And sometimes, we realized over the years that sometimes that also creates like an invisible wall between potential audience members and what we do on stage. And so to sort of get rid of that, Beethoven Blue Jeans is, one of the ways. And so the Blue Jeans applies to our dress code too for the concert. So all the musicians get to wear, they get to wear their favorite pair of jeans. When we think about Beethoven, and we are doing his 7th symphony for this one, which is so energetic, it really rocks. There are moments where it's like headbanging kind of thing going on. And so, I feel like there are more people out there who would enjoy it, but haven't had the opportunity to experience it. And this is one of the fun ways to try to invite and encourage and invite everybody to join us as they are and kind of check us out.
I think it's such a cool idea, and that is going on this Saturday.
Well, we are certainly glad to have you back in town, and we are blessed to have the South Carolina Philharmonic here to keep the music alive in the Midlands. This Saturday, Beethoven and Blue Jeans tickets are still on sale at the Kroger Center. Morihiko, as always, it's a pleasure.
Well, welcome back to Friends at 5. If you're just joining us and you haven't heard yet, the National Weather Service, both in Columbia as well as in Greensville, Spartanburg, has issued a winter storm watch. Now, this takes effect on Saturday late night. So not today, not tomorrow, not even Saturday during the day. It's pretty much Saturday midnight to Sunday midnight. For our communities, it includes Saluda, Fairfield, and Kershaw counties, a good portion of the PD, and all of the upstate, because the anticipation is that we're looking at a snow and possibly sleet freezing rain mix. Now, according to the snow forecast that we have, the possibility of snow that's going to be indicated is going to be well in portions of the upstate. There might be a little bit of a snow mix in portions of the Northwest Midlands, but the key thing that we're looking at more importantly is the possibility of ice. Now, that could be ice and sleet falling, or that could be freezing rain depending on what the air temperature is, if it's below freezing, and more importantly, if it stays below freezing for several hours. And notice here, the biggest impact is going to be the central and northern Midlands, but we can't rule out the rest of our Midland communities all the way down into inland coastal low country. Now, what we're expecting is this. Again, Saturday is just going to be cloudy. Overnight, here it comes. This model is indicating that we're going to have widespread rain, freezing rain in the Midlands with freezing rain, sleet, and snow in the northern Midlands and the upstate. But this is going to continue right into Sunday morning. So the bottom line is that for all of us, we are either going to get heavy rainfall or we're going to get a wintry mix right through until Sunday midday. As far as our weather now, please enjoy it because at least we get 2 days of good weather. And tonight, even the cloud coverage is made for a beautiful evening. Temperatures range from 57 in Columbia. Shaw Air Force Base is at 56. Across the county, Kingstree is at 50. It's as well as 50 in Rock Hill. A bit cooler in Spartanburg at 46. But notice the temperatures in the low country and along the Savannah River, where North Augusta is at 58, 55 in Barnwell, and 57 in Hilton Head. We continue to warm up. Temperatures are still in the low 60s in southern Georgia. And even though it's in the 50s in North Carolina, the warm air is going to be pushing up there because we really don't have anything other than cloud coverage. These light showers in portions of northern Georgia is not going to last, and by the time it gets through us, our sky is going to clear. So this is what we're expecting. In the morning, will be 36 degrees, but then with the increasing cloud coverage on Saturday, we're going to get to a high of 50. Now, as we track the rain, we'll probably have the heavy rain and the wintry mix overnight going into Sunday. We'll start off at 30 degrees with a high of 39, and it'll be windy. So conditions are not going to be that good. So again, enjoy Friday where we get to 56. Enjoy Saturday during the day because it won't rain. And then as we get into next week, the sunshine returns. We'll be in the mid to upper 40s rather on Monday and Tuesday. Stay with us. We got more News 19 after this break.
So here's what we know. y'all don't like paying bills as much as we don't.
Absolutely.
That's where we are today on the 13th day of January and the 2022nd year of our Lord. Nobody wants to pay bills. Can we figure out how not to do this?
So which bill do you like paying the least, or which bill do you always forget to pay? This is what we've asked you. Debbie in Lexington says, I hate the cable bill because it keeps going up, and medical bills, but I forget the trash pickup bill. Stay safe, ladies.
All right, Jacqueline says, I co-signed a student loan and we purchased a Jackie, a timeshare.
I'm sorry, Jackie.
Man. That stinks.
All right, Alex in Red Bank says, hey ladies, property taxes. Why can't we be like states that don't have property taxes? The car note gets me every year.
The car taxes. Yeah, you never own anything in South Carolina. The utility bill, it's never consistent. It fluctuates. It's so unpredictable, but we need the lights. We do need that.
I know. AJM says Excel spreadsheet, monthly budget tied to a bank account and credit cards.
Yeah, that's smart.
AJM, hats off to you, my friend.
Kathy over in Sumter says, I'm with Andrea. These hospital bills make me crazy.
Yes.
Also, property taxes on my home, and they don't even fix the roads in my neighborhood. Kathy, you are preaching to the choir right now, my friend. This person says, I never pay my cable bill until I get at least 2 warnings that my service will be interrupted. So, okay, I'm not saying I do that too, but my kids have been known to say, Ma, look at the TV. They're saying pay it.
That's hilarious. And I may have, back in the day, when it was just Brady and me in the house, I may have gotten the water turned off once. Do you remember that, Doris?
That's okay, but they came back and they turned it right on. The problem with the water bill, and you know, we've talked about this, it's like $40, you know, so you put the bill to the side and you're like, oh, I'll get to it. And then the next month it rolls over and it's another $40. You're
Don't
like,
do that.
It's just $80.
It's just $80.
Okay, I'll get
It's
to that.
fine. Yeah.
And then like 3 months later you get the pink envelope and you hadn't paid your water bill in 3 months and you're like, what?
Oh, no, mine actually got turned off. It actually got turned off, remember?
That's all right. Yeah, I remember that, but they turned it right back on. They were very nice.
Judy says, if my bills are paperless, I mark my calendar on my phone. That works great for me. Thank you, Judy, for an organizational tip.
Linda says, good evening, everyone. The bill I hate to pay is the mortgage. Yeah, that is an automatic draft for us.
That one stings. Tracy from Blythewood says, electric bill and hospital bills are what I hate to see come in the mail. I am with you, Tracy.
Betty in Columbia says, I make sure all bills are kept in one spot. Also write on an envelope date due. Betty does that. My mama used to do that too. She would have it all nice and neat. And
of course she did.
That wasn't genetic though, clearly.
CJ of Lexington says, most of the time my cell phone bill. See, now that's like the first one most people pay, CJ, because that's like the first thing most people refuse to live without.
This viewer says, I hate paying my extra storage bill. I need to get rid of this stuff. Yeah, think about how much money you could save if you got rid of stuff.
Desmond and Santee said, hi ladies, OMG, I have trouble remembering the cable bill. I hate paying my Dish Network since they removed my WLTX channel, but as you can see, I'm watching you guys. Thank you for finding us, Desmond.
All right, thank you for all of your comments, and we wish you a year of on-time bill payments, no disconnections.
Keep the water on.
Yes, that's what we're hoping for you all this year.
In 2022, we'll be right back. All right, we are sitting here looking at our phones trying to figure out the next bill we have to pay. But hey, our love for you is free. Thanks for watching us today for Friends at 5.
Happy early birthday,
Thank
Annie.
you.
I'm about to ring up a bill right now and send you something.
I'm be 39 again.
We won't tell our viewers how many times you've done 39.
Like for like the second time.
Yeah, it's a good age.
Whatever.
It's a good, pick an age, you like it, stick with it. That's what I say.
Sticking with 39, and that's what I'm here to say.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. News 19 at 6 is up next.
Thank you for watching News 19. Did you see a story you loved? Download WLTX on your Roku or Amazon Fire device and watch it again right now.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for News 19 at 6 on this Thursday. I'm Darcy Strickland.
And I'm J.R. Berry. 2 people were on board a small plane that crashed into Lake Murray this afternoon. They both made it out okay. Now crews are working to locate the aircraft that is submerged in the water. We're being told that the plane went down around 1:45 this afternoon. It happened near Taylor Coves Road. That's located in the Gilbert area of Lexington County.
We have 2 crews on the scene tonight talking with neighbors. We're going to start our team coverage with News 19's Rachel Ripp. Rachel, what are investigators saying happened?
Hi, Darcy. So crews left this area about 3 hours ago. Now, witnesses say up to 30 deputies were here about 10 minutes after the crash. Like I said, there were 2 people in that plane, and they were both safe. They were able to get out of that plane very quickly, walked up to shore, and were drenched in water. One of the witnesses say they actually walked up to shore right here off of this edge over here, right where we're located. Now, the plane crashed over my shoulder here and drifted over to this cove. That was because of the parachute and the wind that was deployed. The parachute that was deployed and the wind. Now, here's some video of some deputies taping off the area earlier this afternoon to investigate that area. You can also see a picture of that parachute and that plane over on the water. Now, according to the Federal Aviation Administration, the plane was flying from Greenville Downtown Airport to Charleston International Airport, and witnesses say the pilot and passenger were able to be safe in that situation, like I said, and there were several vehicles on scene responding very quickly. That is what we know right at this time. Reporting live in Gilbert, Rachel Ripp, News 19, WLTX.
All right, and we will have more on this story coming up later in the broadcast. Right now, we want to turn our attention to the weather. A lot of people are wondering what's going to be happening around here this weekend. We're going to bring in our chief meteorologist, Efren Afonte.
Well, JR, to begin with, we already have a winter storm watch from Saturday overnight to Sunday overnight for our northern Midland communities of Newberry, Fairfield, and Kershaw County. Although no watches are issued for the rest of the Midlands, that could be changing very soon. Right now, though, the temperatures have not been too bad, although we did start off quite cold. This morning we had a low of 28 degrees and reached a high of 61. We do have quite a bit of cloud coverage, though, over downtown Columbia, where it's sitting at 55 degrees. Now, our forecast for tonight, the skies will clear out quickly. We'll start off with a low of 37 degrees and just a few afternoon clouds with a high of 56. Now, we are tracking the potential of that wintry mix all throughout South Carolina. We'll take a look at that forecast in a few minutes.
All right, Chief, thank you. Over at the State House now, the redistricting process coming to an end. That's where lawmakers redraw voting lines that determine who people can vote for in their election. The last item on the lawmakers' to-do list is to finalize the new district maps for South Carolina's 7 congressional districts. As News 19's Julia Kaufman reports, many are hoping for House lines that create fair elections.
These are the 2 maps the South Carolina Senate is considering for the 7 U.S. House districts. Public support poured in on Thursday for Map 2, while Map 1 was accused of being drawn for political advantage and hurting Black voters.
When you look at the map number 1, do you have any racial analysis of the racial animus in that map, how it was drawn? Did race play a part, and to what extent?
Yes, the Amendment 1 it has much more bizarre shapes.
Attorney Joseph Opperman created Map 2. He says it keeps more counties whole and would create competitive elections unlike Map 1. In Map 1, the Senate staff's proposal, Congressman James Clyburn's District 6 stretches from Charleston to Columbia.
Those shapes can only be reasonably explained by an overarching racial, a predominant and overarching racial policy, the point of which would be to concentrate Black voting power in District 6 and otherwise diminish and destroy Black voting power in every other part of the state.
In the meeting, over 70 people signed up to speak. Many from the Charleston area spoke out against Map 1 for splitting the city. But those in Dorchester and Berkeley counties support Map 1 because it keeps them with Charleston.
I'd like to support the Amendment 1 of this due to Berkeley County and Charleston and Dorchester staying together as a community. We have a tri-county area.
The South Carolina House has passed their proposal for the congressional map, which matches the Senate staff's map. Now it's the Senate's turn to vote. Once that happens, both chambers will meet in a conference committee to make a final decision to then send that map to the governor for approval. At the State House, Julia Kaufman, News 19, WLTX.
And we're being told state lawmakers are hoping to finalize the congressional district maps sometime this month.
USC is inviting students and staff to meet a potential candidate for the school's presidency tomorrow. The candidate, whose name will be announced tomorrow morning, will take part in the three virtual panels. The public will be able to submit questions through a moderator. The panel topics will be academic excellence, research and innovation, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. For more information on the story, just look for it on our website. That's WLTX.com. The next president at USC will be the 30th in the school's history. Currently, Dr. Harris Pastides is serving as USC's interim president. He returned to the position last May after former President Bob Caslen resigned amid controversy over his remarks at a commencement ceremony.
Turning now to the coronavirus, as DHEC is reporting nearly 15,000 new cases across the state tonight. New data from the health agency showing there are 14,764 new infections. DHEC also reporting 42 additional virus-related deaths. The percent positive rate standing at 26.9%.
Tomorrow, all Lexington Richland 5 students will switch to online classes. In-person learning will resume on Wednesday. The district says COVID absences are more than twice as high as absences during the Delta surge, and there aren't enough staff members to fill in. Free meals will be available at the front of each school from 11 a.m. until noon tomorrow and Tuesday. Arts and athletic events will take place at 50% capacity. All other activities are canceled until Wednesday. As COVID cases spread through schools in the Midlands, Lexington District 3 is now also switching to online learning. The school district added they can't staff schools well enough to continue in-person instruction for the time being. Right now, Lexington 3 plans to return students to the classroom on Monday, January 24th. There will be no in-person sporting events for all JV and varsity teams while Lexington 3 is in remote learning.
Thomas McDowell, the 61-year-old man charged with kidnapping and killing 4-year-old Jessica Gutierrez, will have his bond hearing tomorrow. His bond will be at 10 o'clock at the Lexington County Detention Center on the kidnapping charge. The murder charge will be heard in front of a general sessions court. That will take place at a later date. The Forest Acres Police Department has a new chief, Captain Don Robinson, moving from the Richland Sheriff's Department to Chief of Police in Forest Acres. He'll be Chief Don Robinson. He's taking the mantle now after Gene Seeley spent 28 years in that position. Seeley gave his welcome to the new chief today, saying he will get to lead a great police department with skilled officers and staff to serve the citizens there.
Columbia will soon say goodbye to a historic icon, Capital City Stadium. After nearly 10 years of debate and discussion about the sale, it was sold for $1.6 million to a real estate investment firm in 2019. This week, the final permits were issued and the developer is confirming demolition of the stadium will start in April. News 19's Becky Buds is at the stadium and has more on the new development and what will replace the stadium. Becky.
Darcy, this 90-year-old stadium behind me hasn't hosted a baseball game since 2014. Now it's being turned into a new development that will be called the Ballpark. It'll consist of 300 apartments and 20,000 square feet of retail space. Now, some of those retailers have been hinted by the developer. They include a large national coffee chain and a national sandwich chain. The deal with the city states the developer is required to contribute $250,000 for a greenway extension from Olympia Park to the new development. The developer is also investing $8 million in infrastructure improvements that will fix flooding issues and other structural damage. City Councilman Joe Taylor says he's excited about the new opportunities this development will bring.
It's opportunities, it's construction jobs, it's people eating in restaurants that are in from out of town building these things. I'm talking about it's really a double bonus because you get the economic impact of the construction and then you get the economic impact of the final investment in the tax base.
Construction of this new development is set to start in 2023 and will be complete summer of 2024 if everything goes according to plan. Reporting live outside of the Capital City Stadium, Becky Buds, News 19 WLTX.